hovering above the dense jungles of South America. Mount Roraima rises like a floating fortress in the sky. This massive tabletop mountain pierces the clouds, its sheer cliffs cutting into the heavens like ancient walls. Untouched, unexplored, and utterly alien. Here, time seems frozen, locked in a world forgotten by nature itself. But what secrets lie beyond those misty edges? Scientists call it a tepui, a geological relic older than the Andes, shaped by wind, water, and millions of years of solitude. Mount Roraima is not just ancient, it's isolated. A floating island where evolution took a different path. Creatures here exist nowhere else on Earth. Some say it's the closest thing to visiting another planet, without ever leaving our own. To the Pemen people, this isn't just rock, it's sacred. They call it the House of the Gods. Legend says the great trickster Macanema lives atop it. And the mountain itself is a fallen tree that once held all the fruits of the world. The myths blend with clouds, making Roraima a living spirit. Step here, and you're walking into a story older than civilization. In 1912, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle imagined a plateau, where dinosaurs still roamed and evolution stood still. That fantasy wasn't born from thin air. He was inspired by tales of Mount Roraima. Its cliffs, its isolation, its mystery, all sparked the novel, The Lost World. Even now, the mountain feels like fiction come to life. Getting to Roraima isn't easy. It takes days through dense jungle, rivers, and unmarked trails. But every step toward its summit feels like shedding the modern world. As the clouds thicken and the air thins, you begin to wonder if you're ascending into myth. Then, suddenly, the mountain reveals itself, silent and towering, like it's been waiting for you. On the summit, the world changes. Water flows in every direction from the top, creating rivers that fall off its sides like silver threads. Strange carnivorous plants dominate the landscape, and frogs no bigger than a fingernail hop through ancient puddles. It's a self-contained universe, as if evolution pressed pause and rewound in this mist-veiled sanctuary. The rocks of Roraima aren't just old, they're storytellers, carved by wind and rain over 2 billion years. They take on strange shapes, turtles, temples, faces. To wander here is to walk through stone dreams, as if the mountain itself is sculpting its memory in silence. Every corner whispers something ancient, but only if you're willing to listen. Here it rains almost every day. Clouds curl across the plateau like living creatures, bringing life, washing away time. But it's not just weather, it's ritual. The Pemen believe the rain is the breath of the mountain, a reminder that Roraima is alive. And when the storms pass, the silence is louder than thunder. The last climb is steep, a vertical wall slick with mist and moss. Climbers hold ropes, press to stone, breathe heavy. Then, like a curtain lifting, you rise above the clouds. And suddenly, you're not climbing a mountain. You're crossing into legend. At the top, voices disappear. Every sound feels distant, absorbed by endless mist. You hear only your breath, your heartbeat, the wind's hush. The summit is not loud, it's listening. It doesn't shout its secrets. It waits for you to ask the right question. In this cloud-wrapped world, life adapts in ways few expect. Tiny black frogs lay their eggs in puddles that never dry. Insects mimic stones and moss to stay invisible. Even the birds seem cautious, as if guarding a secret. Evolution here isn't just about survival. It's about blending into a dream. The cliffs of Roraima drop straight down, 3,000 feet to the jungle below. You stand on the edge, wind in your face. and feel both powerful and powerless. It's a reminder that nature gives no safety net here, only the thrill of the unknown, and the echo of something older than fear. Somewhere near the center of the plateau, there's a crystal-clear pool, known only to local guides. At night, when the fog lifts and the stars appear, the water mirrors the sky perfectly. It's called the Sky Bowl. You look down and feel like you're floating above galaxies. It's not a reflection, it's a portal. Some say they felt something here. A presence in the stone, the wind, the silence. Whether it's ancient energy or imagination, everyone leaves with a story. And maybe that's the magic. Mount Roraima doesn't just exist in maps or myths. It becomes part of you, a spirit that travels back with every heartbeat. Leaving Roraima is like waking from a lucid dream. The mist thins, the jungle rises again, and slowly you re-enter the world you knew, but changed. You've walked a mountain where time stands still, where myths breathe and stars live in water. And once you've seen it, you never quite come back the same. Long before scientists or adventurers arrived, the Pemen and Capon tribes had been walking these paths for centuries. They carried no cameras, just stories and reverence. Each bend in the trail was part of a sacred map. To them, Roraima wasn't a destination. It was a spirit to honor, not conquer. Storms roll in faster here than anywhere else. Thunder cracking over stone like ancient drums. Lightning forks through clouds, illuminating shapes that vanish in seconds. The Pemen say these are spirits at war. And when the wind howls, it's not weather, it's memory. On Roraima, even storms feel sentient. At dawn and dusk, Roraima shifts again. The cliffs glow golden, the sky bleeds fire. And for a moment, the mountain looks like a painting lit from within. Everything freezes, even the wind. It's not just a view, it's a vision. One that etches itself behind your eyes forever. Roraima is part of the Guyana Shield, one of Earth's oldest geological formations. Its rocks are over 2 billion years old, making this plateau older than the Amazon itself. In every crack and layer, you read a story of Earth's childhood. This isn't just a mountain, it's a fossilized epic. Forget fiction. This is the lost world Conan Doyle dreamed of. Not with dinosaurs, but with untouched time, and nature writing its own laws. Mount Roraima doesn't need fantasy to feel magical. It is magic. And the real adventure is knowing it still exists. There are moments atop Roraima when everything falls silent, no birds, no wind, just stillness. In that quiet, even your thoughts feel louder. You begin to wonder who else stood here. What did they see? The silence becomes a mirror, and the mountain whispers back only what you're ready to hear. You can film the cliffs, capture the mist, even document every plant and creature. But you'll never record what it feels like. That weight in your chest, that breath held without reason, that quiet voice inside saying, "This is what wonder feels like." Below the summit lie deep fissures and caves, dark veins in the stone, still unexplored. Some believe they hold ancient fossils. Others whisper of sacred chambers lost to time. Scientists bring light. The Pemen brings silence. And between them, the mountain keeps its secrets. There are no roads to Roraima. No airports, no fences. Just rainforest, river, and sky. Getting here means giving something up: comfort, speed, control. But in return, you earn something rare. Not just arrival, but awakening. Roraima doesn't ask for your attention. It demands your humility. You don't conquer this place. You earn a glimpse. And if you listen closely enough, through the wind and water and stone, you'll hear the mountain say, "Not everything sacred is lost." The local guides, often penmen themselves, aren't just navigators, they're guardians. They carry stories, taboos, warnings from generations past. To them, every stone has a name, every echo a meaning. They don't just lead the way. They protect the spirit of this sacred place. On Roraima, plants don't just survive. They hunt. Drosera heliamphora, names that sound like spells, are carnivorous flowers that lure insects with sweet dew, then digest them with slow cruelty. Beauty here has teeth, and every bloom is a trap disguised as a miracle. The fog isn't just weather, it's a guardian. One minute you see the edge clearly. The next, it vanishes into nothing. It protects the mountain from too many eyes, hiding its treasures in plain sight. To pass through it is to leave one world behind and step into another. Everything here feels suspended, as if time took one last breath and never exhaled. No traffic, no clocks, only the slow rhythm of stone, water, and wind. Some explorers stay longer than planned, not to find something new, but to forget what they left behind. Mount Roraima doesn't change quickly, but it remembers. Footsteps fade, but the silence deepens. Names are forgotten, but presence lingers. Every visitor leaves something behind. A story, a breath, a moment of awe. And long after you've gone, the mountain holds it close. In a world chasing speed and noise, Mount Roraima offers the opposite: stillness, mystery, meaning. It reminds us that some places aren't meant to be changed, only witnessed. That nature, left alone, becomes myth. And in protecting this mountain, we protect the part of ourselves that still believes in wonder. Mount Roraima isn't just a place on a map. It's a test, a story, a sacred echo. And now you've seen its face. Through myth, through mist, through memory. But the real adventure is the one you take next. Subscribe now, and let your next journey begin above the clouds.